Hey guys, Reyfar here, and it's like 10 seconds after the last one. So I'm probably gonna be, what's the word? Bigly biased here. Because obviously the one I wanted to talk about tonight was in the Doghouse of Justice, which is definitely one of my favorite anthologies of all, and kind of short story world that Kyell writes in. And I guess any fairy author. I really like kind of fairy superhero stories with adult problems and real life and slice of life stuff, and that's always super fucking cool. So Doghouse of Justice came out like fucking a decade ago, probably. Where is it? Where does it say? Yeah, no, half a decade. No, wait, fuck. Nearly a decade? Shit. Fuck, just... It came out in 2011, which I think... I probably bought it shortly after it came out, because I read most of it when I was in Townsville, visiting my brother when he was in stationed in an army base up there. We went up there as a family holiday, and I spent most of my time in the hotel room reading this anthology and talking to my internet boyfriend at the time, and Townsville was a pretty boring town, though there was some place a couple hours away which was a lot cooler. Parallel Park or something like that. And that was super cool. I enjoyed going there. But yes, no, we're talking about in the Doghouse of Justice. So, for people that don't know, it is an anthology of the League of Canids stories. A lot of them have been published elsewhere beforehand, and then this anthology was meant to be kind of toned down so they could sell it to like the lower kind of rating. Like some of the sex is pulled out. And it's all kind of hoo-hoo and a ha. Like, but it's still there. It's weird. Yeah, like there's some scenes where it just feels so bad that it's taken out. But I mean, there's the versions of the other stories are still out there. There's not generally too many differences between, I guess, the stories in the anthology, and then the stories in other early issues. Though the biggest one, which I guess I'll talk about this story first, is what's it? Was it? Yeah, Stop the World. It's the one with Red Lightning, and he runs out on an argument with his wife or girlfriend, and yeah, he runs out like I loved how it starts. Like, it's easily one of my fuck, what is it? Yeah, like it's easily like my favorite kind of his story ever with how it starts. If that's the way you feel, she began, but he didn't wait for her to finish. You, her words ground to a halt. The fire in her eyes was frozen as the rest of the room as he turned tail and ran. I need an assignment, Crypto. The fox on the other end of the wrist radio remained as precise and clipped in tone as he always did. Sorfin, I'll just get on the horn to Namaster and have him whip up an evil scheme for you to foil. But no, I just like how he just runs out on this argument instantly, because he's got super speed. He is a red fox, obviously, and one of the cool things is I was meant to look this up. I totally forgot. It was originally published in a fanzine, and I can't remember what it was called, but I'll chuck the link in the description. And the version of the story in that is like completely different, like compared to this printing. And I feel like it was printed again somewhere else, but I could be wrong. But like it starts and ends the same way, but the assignment he goes on is completely different, and like the scenes is completely different. And it was like when I found out, like, what? It's like, this is crazy. And but I do like Stop the World a whole lot, because yeah, he goes to some remote town, I think in Alaska or something, like halfway across the country or all the other side of the country, and he foils some kind of budding scientist who's making or abusing like rabbits, turning into fire-breathing monsters, and they can't control themselves, and he teams up with Histy, who is he teams up with Histy, and for people that don't know, he is the best character that Kyell has ever written. Basically, he's like a superhero Steve Irwin, like dressed in like khaki, and he full talks all ochre, like like. See, like, I'm just constantly laughing because I think of his dialogue, and I can't think of anything kind of decent, other than, like, throw another shrimp on the Barbie. Like, along those lines, just completely ochre. But he's not Australian, he's, like, from, like, Port City or something, like, some East Coast, West Coast American town. He's got, like, a complete, like, American accent. And except, like, you know, that's part of his character. He's like, whenever someone else is around that's not a super, like, he slips back into his Australian accent. He's just a whole lot of fun. And, yeah, his superpower is, like, his History channel is his full name, but his nickname is History. And, like, whatever he touches, he can tell the history of it, like, and, there's another story where that comes into play. And, and like, he's mostly like a gadget hero. But I don't know, I lost my train of thought. But Stop the World is an awesome story, and I quite like the humility it brings to Red Lightning when he comes back home at the end. So yeah, I guess I'll go into the rest of the other stories. So the first story in the anthology is Vicious, which is to do with it's basically like an introductory piece for Vicious Fiction, who is I guess, like, you know, well, she's obviously like the female crime fighting super. She's big on gadgets, and she's like super smart, and she makes all her own gadgets and stuff like that. And like her day job is like she's like a model, and she's like super nice and friendly and always trying to help people. But when she's Mrs. Fiction, she's like a huge, like, callous, cold-hearted bee, and but I think that's basically like her kind of cover kind of character. But like she's a super cool character, and it's a really cool like introductory piece, where she thwarts a crime. And I don't think there's much of a twist towards the end. It's kind of like she just goes back to real life. I feel like there's probably something in the story that I'm just completely missing. But yeah. The next story is Don't Blink, which is another awesome story. It's I think it might be the first story with a character. Actually, fuck, it did say it in the foreword. Oh my god. Yeah. So Don't Blink is the first kind of Lennox Cannon story he wrote, back for Heat 4, back in 2007, which was he says it was a challenge issued by his husband, because he initially mentioned the League of Canaans in Waterways as like a comic book one of Samaki's younger brothers followed and kept and had the figures and stuff. It's super cool. And so Don't Blink is it opens with Blink Coyote, who has blink teleportation as a power, trying to have sex and not blink away when he orgasms, and trying to like rein in his powers and stuff like that, and like it's a really cool it's a really cool story, like, and it ends in a pretty fun kind of scene where he ends up seducing the bad guy, and then his girlfriend gets like super upset, and then a twist. Yeah, no, it's just a super fun story. And yeah, I don't really want to say too much, like say giving it away, but you should totally read it. The next story, Third Date, is the story that deals with Wonder Wolf, which is like Wonder Wolf, like Superman kind of wolf dude, and it's from the perspective of Roscoe, who's he's a wolf that goes to this gym regularly, and he sees this grey wolf come into the gym, and he hits on him, and they go on a date, and on the third date, like clearly like Drew's keeping a secret or whatever, and he's trying not to pry too much, but he wants to know what it is, and yeah, it's very just run of the mill piece. Like, it's super cool and fun. I like some of the interactions at the end between Roscoe and Josh, and Roscoe and Blink Coyote. And there's a whole thing towards the end there where what was it? Yeah, Wonder Wolf comes, and his spunk takes out a plane or something. He has to go save it, which is pretty silly and fun at the same time. But I read that one back today. I actually read the copy that's in Heat 5. Yes, it was Heat 5. Which actually I might interject in a second just to talk about Heat 5. And because it's been ages since I've read Third Date, so I don't remember what the text is in this version. Other than there's a bit more elaboration between some bits and pieces there. But other than that, it's wholly the same. Yeah, I didn't read the bit about the sex scene, so I don't know how toned down it was. I think I should have fucking done that. But yeah. And the next story is Stop the World, which I always talked about. Then Modern History, which is another one of my all-time favorite stories. Basically, it's completely revolving around History Channel, and he is forced to receive a blowjob, and because he's got his power where he can see the history of whatever he touches, he basically sees the history of this guy that's like sucking him off, and he's like, he does not want to be there, because I don't think he's not gay. I'm pretty sure he isn't, but he's like, obviously it's non-consensual. but yeah, like the bear just forces himself in on him. Because he's like a huge kind of a creepy fan as well. Like, actually, I'm probably gonna go back and read it when I'm done with this video tonight. Yeah, it's just fun. And then Splitting Time, which I actually can't remember much about. It's about I can't even remember the name of the super, but it's about this character who her power is she can split herself, and yeah, her husband. Yeah, it's from the perspective of her husband, and he's getting kind of upset because she's not giving him she's not giving him her full attention, and she kind of runs off and has sex with herself, while another copy of herself is at a polite dinner party with him, and yeah, it's a pretty cool kind of relationship story from the perspective of superheroes. The last story is Simmons Scope, which is another fucking awesome one. Like, I read that one back again today, because that was the reason why I kind of want to talk about it, despite I haven't really read anything furry this week, is because I was just thinking about that story like all week. Like, I don't even know what reminded me, but I was just like, oh man, I love that story. It was so cool. Like, I love the interactions between Sim and Scope. The whole fact it was a story about these kind of minor supers, trying to make the world a better place by going to this bar, because was it Scope, who is a Fennec, she's Middle Eastern, and she's got super healing, super smell, just super senses, I'm pretty sure. And her kind of partner slash lover, Simpatico, who is a Zorro, I'm pretty sure, like the Mexican canine. I think that's where they're from. And he's like the doctor of the League of Canids, and what was yeah his power is like he can basically heal people by touching them, like, and he likes the feel of being that connected with people, because he can feel how their body works and the senses and synapses and all that, just by touching. And so like they're scoping out this bar by trying to save people from not getting too drunk and get into arguments by he like scopes them out, and Simpatico goes over and takes out the drugs or the alcohol in their system and calms them down, because Scope is listening and he's talking like, this is what you need to say to calm them down. And not that he doesn't know as well, it's like they're working together as a team. And it turns a bit like dramatic towards the end, and I always get a bit sad because they're in danger and I love them so much. And there's a bit with Crypto at the end, who I've totally forgot to mention is like the brains behind the League of Canids, who's like a red fox. And yeah, he's just super cool and monotone. I don't know, there's not much else to say about Crypto. Like, I really want to see a story just about Crypto, just to, know about him. I mean, if there is a story, I've just missed it, let me know, please. And yeah. I mean, like, this is just really slapdash, really, just been trying to talk about it. But, they're super awesome. League of Canids is super awesome. Yeah, most of them are in copies of Heat. But I think some of them are online, like on his gallery. I think one of them might be like Don't Blink, might be, because that was, I'm pretty sure it was nominated for an Ursa. Whether it won or not, I can't remember. But I think a lot of them were, so they probably are up on his gallery, on FA, Safari, all that. And yeah, so fucking, I mean, if you haven't read it, go pick up League of Canids. It's all, not League of Canids, In the Doghouse of Justice by Kyell Gold, illustrated by Amon Omega. And some of the other artists that also did illustrations in copies of Heat are Moonstalker and Kuna, who was the guy that also did the illustrations for Waterways. I actually, it's really hard. Like, I do like Kuna and Amon Omega's illustrations, and I don't think I could pick one over the other. Their editions of the superhero characters. Yeah, so you can pick it up no, it's not. It's Sofa Wolf, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is Sofa Wolf. You can pick it up from Sofa Wolf, but you can also pick it up from Fur Planet and Rabbit Valley. I really don't know if it's an ebook. Like, I'll look. If it is, I'll check the links up. But I totally get it. It's like fucking awesome. One of the best anthologies out there these days. Whole lot of fun. And I always want to see more stories like with kind of superheroes that are furries, trying to live normal adult lives that deal with adult situations and whatever. And obviously there's Save the Day, and there's the one by Andrew Rudder, Shadows That Linger. I think that's what it is off the top of my head, which I haven't got yet, but I need to, like many. Yeah, so that's it. And so I guess for those people that are interested, the main reason why I haven't really read anything in the past 2 or 3 weeks, like, it's like from short stories here and there, is I've been reading through Fidel Castro's My Life, which is it autobiography? Biography? I can never remember. I should fucking know the difference. Which is like it was done over 100 hours, like a kind of fuck, which is an interview done over 100 hours with this French reporter, and they just have a conversation for 100 hours, and he's just asking Fidel Castro questions about his life, and it's obviously recorded, transcribed, and then translated to English, and then this is the second edition, which is published, I think, 10 years after the interview, because I did some more interviews after the book came out, because there's other things he wanted to talk about, something like that. And yeah, it's been my own kind of, I guess, personal project and personal interest, like heavy interest. Like, I've spent entire days with that's all I've done. Like, I've woke up, just read, and gone to work, read, gone gone to bed. And the reason why it's taking me so long to go through it is because, I come up to stuff and I'm like, nah, I don't believe that. And then, I go off and I go find news articles and other sources and references. And then, at the end of the book, there's about fucking 100 pages of sources in the appendix and stuff like that. And yeah, it's not. And yeah, I'm just enjoying it as my own kind of personal project, and finding what middle ground I want to find in what middle ground I want to find when reading this, because it is, I guess you could say it's not really controversial. Really, it's just him saying his point of view from his life, but I am really enjoying it from, I guess, the close perspective it is, because I don't think I've really read anything or really much biography. I really make me want to. But the fact that it's, him from him talking about himself and that close perspective, and it's really kind of interesting and refreshing to see, like, someone talk about, I fucked up, I messed up, there's some things I did well, there's things that I really strongly believed in, and then 20 or 30 years later, I was more educated, or my beliefs changed, and I changed, and that's okay. And then there's other stuff where I still strongly believe in it, and just it's really just nice to see just the dynamic of a person that close, and not have all these kind of inward thoughts, because is it just me? You don't have to be really staunch about things. You can mess up, and you can have regrets, but you still need to move forward and whatever. And you can one of the things that really pissed me off last year, I guess maybe getting a bit too personal here, is that there's shit going on at work, and the store manager was saying, you need to be emotionless, basically emotionless, whatever, just be steadfast and whatever. I'm like, and it's not me. I'm very highly emotional, I guess, but not in the negative kind of way. I don't know. And I was really annoyed by that. And then, and I guess I kind of hung around that for a while. And then, reading through this, and then reading Fidel talk about Che Guevara, and how he was saying how he was a very kind of strong, opinionated, and emotional person, and how when someone he knew died, whether it was it was in a specific circumstance, he was talking about someone under Che's command they're doing the guerrilla actions in Africa, I think it was, and he died, and how Che really beat himself up, and was really upset about it, and cried, and it's constantly on him, and he talks about this, Che obviously talked about this in his diary, in letters to Fidel, and other people also said this, and it was really nice to see that someone that can have that kind of, I guess, it sounds bad, but I guess fucking position of authority but still be emotional and highly emotional is like comforting in a way. Um, and one of the things I want to see if I can find is apparently Che wrote Fidel a poem like when shit was up against the wall in I think it was Bolivia or before Bolivia, when he was just really, kind of, I don't know. And I kind of want to go read that poem and see, because they're obviously really good friends and whatever. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've probably got like a third of the way left to go, and I'll probably be reading it for like another week and a week and a half. So which is why obviously these last two videos are kind of just just me off memory, trying to talk really hard about something. Because I don't really want to let this go. I do really enjoy it. So yeah, like it is something I want to talk about, but I mean, Fidel Castro's My Life is something I really want to talk about, but it's something obviously better done in person. Because at the end of the day, I haven't finished it, and my opinions and beliefs are forever going to be changing. Yeah. And there's a bunch of other shit that I want to read using this as a springboard, and I don't know how I'm going to find the time, but I guess I will. Yes, so anyway, I've been Reyfar, and I'll catch you later.